Hi, you're back again. So it's going to do the sewing now. What I've done is chosen a slightly darker thread so it might be a little bit easier to see. Wind the new bobbin up with the same colour thread and insert into your machine. And thread the top thread through the top of the machine and through the needle. Holding on to the top thread, cycle the knob on the side of your machine through 360 degrees and pull gently on the thread and pull onto the back. Now find your back pieces and your side front pieces and pin them together, matching the notches as we've marked from the pattern. Make sure your machine is on straight stitching and make sure you've chosen a sort of middle size length stitch. A quick look at the base plate where you can see where the needle comes down. You've got some measurements that will show you how you can line up your stitches. Use the 1.5 centimeters or 5/8 of an inch to measure up your stitches. Stitch straight seams down the sides. Remember to do reverse stitch at the beginning and at the end of each seam. Now get your two front pieces together, put them right sides together, match up the notch and put some pins along the inner edge. Now stitch those as before with a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance, taking your pins out as you go. Now grab your two back pieces, they're the ones where you've got the side seams attaching to the side fronts. Put them together and match the notches on the curve and pin them as before. Once again, stitch the seam along at 1.5 centimeter seam allowance along the straight and then round the curve, going slowly round the curve. Now make sure that your sewing machine is set to do a zigzag stitch, so make sure you follow the guide on the side. I'm choosing C, which is the zigzag stitch. Choose a middle length stitch and a wide stitch along your stitch width dial. Now go on and zigzag each raw edge of your fabric so that all the raw edges are sealed off and there'll be no fraying. So you'll need to separate the two edges so that you do each one separately. This one ends up in a neater finish. Once you've done that with all of your seams, open them up and press them open, leaving a nice seam on the outside. Give it another press. It's looking fabulous. The last thing that you need to do for this section is to stitch together the inner leg. So you pin together the front and back pieces at the inner leg or underneath the crotch area. Put the two pieces together, pin them together and stitch. And once again do some zigzagging to neaten off the edges. Once you've zigzagged those raw edges, you can press it open, and well done for getting this far. You should have pretty much done the main parts of your shorts now. We'll be ready to do the edging and the elastic, and then you'll be done. See you on part 2 of the sewing videos.